one of their toys. They've had this technology for years. And so I kind of lost my train of thought on what I was going to say about that. But eventually, you'll see my websites go down. I've seen banishment in the codes. My websites are going to go down. My shows will be off the air. My shows will be off the internet. They're going to banish me off the internet. And so it's already happening, folks. I'm already hearing from people that can't access my websites when they're at work or at school. Now hearing from people in different countries that can't access my websites. You can get to them through proxy servers. Google that. And when you go to a proxy server, they'll give you a website. You just type in my website URLs, and it'll take you to my website URL. They will come up that way. Eventually, though, all of my websites are going to be banished. And so you need to get what you can now off of them. I suspect that shortly before, or just right after he arrives, my trader arrives, my websites will be completely banished off the net. He doesn't want me exposing him any more than they already have, because he can't move without me on top of it. And they want to put a stop to it. And so, yeah, watch for that one. And get the information you can now off of my websites, so that when he does arrive, you'll know what's going on. I do believe they'll arrive separate. One in March, one in September. But like I said, it could be this year, it could be next year. I'm just not seeing a thing for 2008. Everything's 2009. Another thing I wanted to mention is that there is this global warming is pretty much just caused by chemtrails. I'm going to tell you that. But something's going to happen to where there is a possibility that a huge snow glacier is going to break off and start to melt. And this is going to cause a huge mammoth wave that will hit America. And I don't know if it's on the Pacific or the Atlantic. And so, just a heads up, because I'm seeing a huge glacier melting. What strikes me is a boom. There's a loud boom. And so if this thing was going to just break off and melt, it would just be a natural occurrence, and you wouldn't necessarily hear a big boom, I wouldn't think. So this may be manipulated, a boom, to where something causes this huge glacier to break off and melt. Either way, it's one of our coastlines. I was thinking it would be this whole scenario about a huge tsunami wave hitting New York City. But the problem with that is that New York City eventually gets nuked. And even the Bible talks about the smoke rising up from New York City. And you can't have that happen if the city's underneath the water. And then I thought perhaps, well, maybe a tsunami wave would only take out one of the boroughs or the outside ones, and that's a possibility. Or I'm just on the wrong coast and it hits the west coast and it hits California. Because you will see Sodom mentioned in the Bible codes, and everybody knows San Francisco, probably the Sodom it's referring to. But Sodom's also another name for America. And so, I can't commit to either the coast, which one it's going to hit. Just a possibility that a huge glacier will come apart and strike, melting one of our coastlines, or the water causing a tsunami to hit one of our coastlines. So east or west. And hopefully that won't be for a while. But like I've said, if you're on the coastlines, you need to get off of them. Been harping that for 2-3 years now, and people know that eventually it's just a matter of time, with the coming of Planet X alone, that our coastlines are going to be gone. I find it interesting. Planet X is a star-like planet, and so most people are conditioned into thinking this red ball is coming. And I'm sure it is. There are 2 objects out there, folks, perhaps 3. And we're all looking for Planet X, and I think the problem is we're seeing 3 and calling each one of them Planet X unknowingly. But Planet X is a star-like planet. And so if you look outside now at the twinklers in the sky, they're 33rd degrees above the horizon. Notice that Masonic number, 33, their favorite number. Planet X looks like one of those stars. It's going to look like a star. And so it's going to be this huge star-like orb, this planet. And then we have these other ones, the one behind the sun, and then you have one from the south, and one from the east, and one from the north. You got them coming from everywhere, folks. So some action coming in the skies. That's what the Lord always said, there would be terror in the skies. And there is. There's more coming than we've got a handle on yet. And I've just got a very loose grip on anything coming from space besides Planet X. And this red planet, and the star-like planet, and then you have the blue star. It goes on and on. And so, just a heads up. Get off the coastlines, get away from the coastlines. The Kool-Aid program that's coming, the gold, frankincense, and myrrh, they're coming with bribes. The United States president just going to align with them, and so, for those of you that don't have your heads in the sand, that doesn't leave you very many options, but to head to the high and the dry places, head to the mountains, head to the deserts, Midwestern United States, from the Rockies to the Mississippi. Don't get too close to the Mississippi. But that's pretty much a pretty fair estimate of the safe part of this country to be in. I'm in probably central to southern Ohio. I think I'm pretty good where I'm at. And you'll find that not all of the east is destroyed, but most of it will be. I wouldn't be putting all of my hopes in the Appalachian Mountains. That may be the new East Coast. I wouldn't be putting any serious effort into thinking the Appalachian Mountains alone would be protective, because it's just too close to the East Coast for my comfort, and things I've seen. I think you want to get further west. And don't get on the west side of the Rockies. Stay on the east side of the Rockies. I've done a lot of work in California with Oregon, or not California, in Colorado. So strangely enough, where it destroys Satan's kingdom, it will help the Lord's people at the same time. And that's what I've always said about the Oregon. It's a great positive energy. It's a healing energy. It'll protect the Lord's people. At the same time, it destroys Satan's. Evil can't stand it. And that's just the war between light and dark. And so I've done a lot of work in northwest Arkansas, other parts of Arkansas, a little bit central on up, Colorado, a lot of states in through there. And so we've just been busy. I myself personally, and of course the Lord's people who are rising up everywhere. I've gone through states before you might want to target, like eastern Arizona, Oklahoma, states across through there. Just a lot of work to do, folks. Time running out. If this is 2009, we're looking at a possible arrival of Maitreya in March of this year. And so, if now we've got a whole year to prepare, and then just a lot of people wanting to pull their hair out of their heads because they just want to get the show on the road. They want to get this going on already. I know I do. I'm just so bored with the same stuff all the time. Just, how many alien freaks are coming with Satan now, and what are they doing? And it just gets monotonous after a while. But we're gonna have some fun.